Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of 20ish podcast. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about things or happenings that have been in news recently. It's about an episode where you'll get to know about the recent happenings.
Yes, right. So,
So,
without any further ado, let us just begin the episode.
yeah,
And also, I wanted to add on that last week we did not upload any episode because, as Kashish was moving back to Delhi, so she was
yeah.
really busy.
So we are busy. So
You
I
were busy, I
guess,
was not.
yeah, of course, that's. I mean, that's fine. So we'll try to be really consistent from now on.
Yeah,
So let's start.
yeah. So, the first one is
About the first news that we're going to talk about is all the hue and cry about Pakistan and terrorism.
yes, right.
Yeah. To start with, we all know that Pakistan is an harbinger of terrorism, although it doesn't,
True.
accepts that, but the world knows,
I
you
mean,
know.
the best export of Pakistan to the world is terrorism.
Terrorism, true. So recently, Pakistan have there was a news that some MP from Pakistan said on on their national television that Taliban will help them in capturing back Kashmir. And also, I mean, in front of the international media, they portray like we don't
Yeah.
support terrorism. We are very
Uh,
clean
saints, we are
people,
saints.
yeah, saints. But at the back of it, they are actually helping Taliban with everything: modern weapons, drones, and everything which Taliban needs, be it
Yes, and
support, be it
also
money, or be it resource.
their NSA said that if USA and all does not accept Taliban as the legitimate government of
Hmm.
Afghanistan, then another 9/11 will happen. Although he retreated back from his statement, but at the end of the day, that is what they think.
That is what the mindset is.
And also, PM Imran Khan said, I mean, their PM, not my PM.
Yeah.
So Imran Khan said that, Afghanistan has broken away from the slavery of USA.
Shackles of
Yeah,
slavery.
shackles of slavery. I mean, this is ridiculous, We all know that from whom the real threat for Afghan women come from.
Hmm.
We all know.
All,
And
yeah.
still, these hypocrites are just roaming around. And you know what? Countries like USA that was known as the king of sanctions because they used to put sanctions on almost everything that they can, imagine. They are not doing anything. Like they are just mum.
And that's really, ironical. I mean, not ironical for us, because we have seen what US is capable of and what US has been doing since a very long time.
Yes. I mean, look at Vietnam and look at Afghanistan and all. I mean, what is the common thing here is that USA just retreated. And I think
Yeah.
even for Taiwan, India should, think before, supporting USA in any way. Because, of
And
course, China is close and, of course,
yeah,
the threat on border is still looming.
true. And also, not only of Afghanistan, but also the whole world is at risk until and unless Pakistan is under some sanctions.
Yeah, so this is why some Afghan women and some men also, they came out of their home and they started protesting in the
Protesting,
streets. And,
and
the
Taliban
women,
open fired on them.
yeah, and they even they bet the women, the men bet the women from rifles and all.
Yeah.
And this was so sad to see. And no one, no commission, no United Nation, no one is saying anything. No actor is even saying anything. The so-called intellectual actors of Hollywood and Bollywood who
Yeah.
just come up and give their opinions on anything, no matter what. They are also mum. So this is what we want to tell our readers, that in geopolitics, if you are not benefited from something, you don't say at all. I mean, there is nothing like humanity here, at least, and this is very sad to see. For India also, I would say that we are not doing anything at all. So what does that mean? That we are just letting them do whatever they want to? That is
and
what
get
our
away with
actions
it.
are. That is what our actions are, pointing at. So this is very sad to see. So yeah, this is why this Twitter trend started, sanction Pakistan, so
Yeah.
that you know, uh,
I
where was
I
I?
I'm reminded of the time when Pakistan was actually continued to when Pakistan actually ceased to exist in the grey list recently, and it said that it's because of India's influence and also because of
Yeah,
its,
yeah, right.
yeah. So today when I remember that, today when I'm reminded of that, I feel like, how can someone be this double faced? I mean, don't you know what you're doing?
This is hypocrisy. And this
Yeah.
is why the sanction Pakistan trend started. And even Canada, former MP
Mm,
of Canada, he came up and he said that Pakistani PM is a bigot and things like that. And so yeah, this is why this trend
mm,
started. And even countries like Iran, their citizens are coming out in public in the right outside the embassy
mm,
of Pakistan in Tehran, and they are just protesting that why are you doing whatever you're doing in Afghanistan? This is
exactly.
very
I
good to
mean,
see. I mean,
and
look at a country
US,
like Iran is
yeah.
doing, and India is mum, USA is mum. This is really shocking. I mean, I never thought that this will happen if you had said me this in 2020. I mean, of course, 2020 made us see a lot of things that were very new, but I would not have believed you if you said this to me a year ago. And now look at this.
If 2020 was worse, 2021 is worst. Worst.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And I think that in the time to come, I have a belief that, this Talibani men, they will just kill each other. And this is how they will end. Because see, they are very illiterate. They are very,
Hmm.
how do we say it? In Hindi, we call it ujjad, right? Someone who
Yeah.
does not have decency and civilized, those who do not follow civilized manners. So these are
Hmm.
those men. And if, say, suppose defense minister is saying that we should go and
Yeah.
capture Kashmir. But
And also the
I mean, listen now.
education minister. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So if
Mm.
defense minister is saying that we should go and capture Kashmir, but the foreign minister is saying no, then they will just fire at each other. I mean, that is how I think this will end.
And also, I read on Twitter that their education minister was saying that there is no use of masters and PhD and all, questioning
There is
higher
no use of
education.
there is no use of college also. I mean, seriously. I mean, I know listeners, you must have been, getting
Following,
background.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, my neighbor's dog, it is just doing a lot of nonsense these days. So don't mind that, please.
I don't think people will. Of course, like, it's India, man. We
Yeah,
are known for being too loud, be
yeah,
it people or be it animals. So,
seriously.
pretty much it.
Yeah, 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 right.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, we'll move on to the next news for today,
yeah,
and that is, yeah, okay,
that is
just a sec. Yeah, that is why India, Russia, and all the other major powers are not supporting Northern Alliance like they were in the early 2000s.
even though India and Russia have come together to work against,
Hmm.
terrorism in the Central Asia, because of course Russia is also gonna face a lot of damage from it, and so
Yeah.
will India. So yeah, they have come together, but why are they not supporting Northern Alliance? That is, openly coming up and saying that yeah, we are against
Yeah.
I mean, we are against Taliban in Afghanistan. So yeah,
Yes, also they just need your support and resources. I guess they have the willpower.
yes, exactly. You don't have to send them your soldiers.
Yeah, you just have
So
to give them some resource and support
okay,
on
so why are they
international
not
front.
doing this?
I guess
It is
this is because of the threat of Taliban that's looming all of us
and not
over
just
all of us.
Taliban. This time it's also IS, Al Qaeda. I
Yeah,
mean, we all know how notorious IS is. And
true.
recently,
And now
something like,
ISIS and Taliban has joined hands for a lot of things. So,
yeah, I mean, even recently in New Zealand, they had a kind of a terrorist attack.
hmm,
They did not have ammunition though. The man just went wild and, started shouting and killing people. I mean, not killing, injuring people. So the
hmm,
Prime Minister of New Zealand says that this is because of the IS. The person was heavily influenced by IS. So yeah, this is evidable. I mean, this is seen not just in Central Asia or India, but in the whole world. So I think it's high time that nations just forego this thing, this terrorists like that of IS or that of Taliban. I mean, I will still call them terrorists because that is what they are. So, yeah, I mean, they should just forego their, I would say fear of them and
I
just
mean,
start supplying their men
this
to.
might sound like a bit immature, but I don't think we have any other option. Of course, the threat is really big, but
And we
you
are
have
just
to do something.
sitting and watching the show. They're like, okay,
Hmm.
we'll wait and watch. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
think this wet and
if
watch
you
will
actually
end
don't
if.
help your neighbor, the fire will actually burn you too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not just neighbors. If you see that this happened in New Zealand, that is very, very far away from Afghanistan and India. So, if this can happen in New Zealand, can it not happen in USA as well? So, it is not just the moral responsibility of India or Russia, but also of USA. Because number one, they have left so much weapons and vehicles of them in in the airport of Afghanistan. I forgot the name. Yeah, so they left so much of
Hmm.
them in that airport. Number one. Number two, you see that the threat of IS has become very big now because now they have the open support of Pakistan from Taliban, and not just Pakistan. This time, China is also helping Taliban. So yeah, if tomorrow some IS attack happens in any country, I'm not saying the name, it can happen anywhere. Say it happens in USA itself, then I mean the concern will be very legal, right?
Yeah, so now we'll move on to the next topic, I guess, the next
The-
news for today,
yeah,
and that is China's interest in Afghanistan and its ill motives.
I mean, Donald Trump once said that where there is a problem, there is China, and I'm like,
And
wow, he is.
I
I
agree
mean,
with him.
totally. I totally agree with that, and yeah, I mean, China. See, earlier it had nothing to do with Afghanistan or anything. So it was just another country in Asia, and they had nothing to do with Afghanistan. But what happened now is that China wants world domination. So they are like,
Yeah,
see, USA has gone out, let us mock USA. So they mocked USA, and that now that no American troop is in Afghan land, they are like, you know what, we should fill this vacuum. So what they are doing is number one, see, all the grants and the aids that UN used to give to Afghan government, that is to Ashraf Ghani's government, that is stopped. So how will these people now make bills and run the country and of course buy ammunition for their friends of IS and Al Qaeda? So how will they do that? So for the same, they want funds. So China is like, you know what, will give you funds, will make infrastructure as well, but in return, you also have to give us the airport that USA left behind, right? So that
yeah,
airport is very, it's very well made because of course America has made it, so it is very well made, and they are like, if we get access to this airport, then the whole of Central Asia will be in our control. And they are like, you know what, we should include Afghanistan in our BRI project, Belt Road Initiative project.
yeah.
So, yeah, let
Also,
us do this.
like China's interest in the minerals of Afghanistan is well
Yeah,
known.
yeah. And also location, minerals, a lot of things. And you know how
Hmm.
China's debt works,
And also the
right?
Xinjiang province issue.
Yeah. So this is all in their interest. They're like they want world domination, and Afghanistan being a very strategic location in Asia, they just want access to it. And you know what? Taliban is even ready to give them the
Hmm.
access in return of money, but they don't know that what Chinese debt policy is all about. I mean, I was seeing a video of Vion the other day, and the anchor was so apt when she said that China first gives loan and then provides the terms and condition after you have signed the loan. Like, wow, this is totally apt.
Yeah, and also in the situation of Sri Lanka right now, and China not giving a damn about it.
Yeah, this is all because, as Donald Trump
Hmm.
mentioned, where there's a problem, there is China.
Yeah. Also, I guess we'll make a separate episode on the issues of Sri Lanka,
Yeah, we
like
should.
whatever it's happening there, the food emergency and everything, and how China is involved in this. Oh,
Exactly.
we
So
are
we'll
gonna make
do
a
that
lot of videos about China nowadays because
because, yeah,
it's
where there is
poking
a
its nose
problem,
everywhere.
where there is a problem, there is
There's
China.
China. Yeah, and
Yeah,
also
right.
how strategically, like China understands the strategical importance of Afghanistan, and how, and it in history it is said that anyone who captures Afghanistan will capture India too. So
Yes.
it's
But you
like
know what? I think this is very underrated. And this is something
yeah,
that China is not understanding. Because see, Russia came because they wanted to so-called, help Afghanistan become
hmm,
a developed country by,
yeah,
making their infrastructure projects.
hmm,
So, and US also came to Afghanistan to help liberate it from, terrorist
terrorism.
presence
Hmm,
terrorist presence. So yeah, even China is now going there, making infrastructure project and stuffs like that. And China, I don't know whether they are giving a damn about it or not. That Taliban is very, unorganized and very illiterate. There
hmm,
will be one day, as we mentioned earlier in the episode, that even the defense minister and say foreign minister are fighting among each other and they shot each other. So of course their projects will be gone in that case. So
of course, and
as
also
it is
you,
said that
I mean, it's it's very apt when you say that when your education actually matters. So uh, with Taliban,
I
we
mean,
understand that.
see, Afghanistan is called the graveyard of empires, and I think that Chinese empire's graveyard might also be in Afghanistan. So, you know what? I'm very happy that China is doing this investment. Let them do this investment and let the investment get sunk. Then only they will
Yeah,
understand what
because
happens.
terrorism, terrorist people do not have a heart. So,
They don't listen to
and
anyone.
yeah,
They did in Sri Lanka because Sri Lanka is a proper country ruled by properly elected people. But the same is not the
hmm,
case with Afghanistan. Had they given the
hmm,
loan to Ashraf Ghani's government, then I would have understood that okay, now
hmm,
Afghanistan will also get in Chinese control. But I don't think that this Taliban government is going to last a long time. For a long time, either they have to get themselves civilized and educated, or they start firing each other.
yeah,
And yeah, and as of India, I know that a lot of people are worried, but you know what? We should think that if see, even in the
hmm,
past, we have had so much war and so much bloodshed of our soldiers, of our martyrs, and still look at
hmm,
us. We are going to be the second largest economy in the world in 5 years' time. I mean, in 4 years' time, and also we are so much developed than our neighbors. Whenever there is
yeah,
something happening, all the neighboring countries, their citizens come and get refuge in India. So see, even with so much problem, we have progressed a lot. So I would say that great people come from a lot of pain, and
yeah.
the path to greatness is not very uh, easy. It is filled with all this kind of pain, like whatever India is going to face in a few years time. So, my dear Indian people, please don't get worried.
Yeah, and
I
also
just
don't
know
get
that
fooled.
don't get full, don't get worried. We are on the right path, and it might be filled with pain, but we are not going to stop. Okay, so I think this was it for this. Now, let us move to the last and final topic:
Yeah, and that why India should not, you know, uh,
maintain relation.
maintain relation with the Taliban.
I mean, seriously, why should we?
I mean, yeah, of course, like, but we don't even have an option, you know.
As I said that one of the things that they are, I mean, I sometimes think that this wait and watch is not going to help, but sometimes then I think that we don't have any other option. And you know what? If we wait, watch, and see that whatever is going to happen in Taliban's government, and as we mentioned before, that they might start killing each other in some days' time. So yeah, in this way they will just wipe themselves off, and then we might have some chance.
But it is gonna take time.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
going
gonna
to take
happen
time.
overnight. But till then,
Till then we really don't have an option. I mean, we can maintain relations like China did, but uh, it will be you know it will be it will not be aligning with our foreign policies all these years. I mean, for 75 years India has promoted uh, freedom and of course something that is free from terrorists. But now that we go and shake hands with the terrorists themselves, those who don't think that women are at par with them, I don't think this India will be doing justice to its own foreign policies. And we are not China that our foreign policy changes overnight.
overnight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are people with strong
We,
principles.
yeah, we don't, weigh our foreign policy on the sides which is heavier.
Yeah, and though we might feel a lot of pain in the initial days, but believe me, those who are following principles, they are the one. Even in real life, you will see they are the one who succeed in the long run.
Yeah, true.
I mean, even we might say a lot of bad things about USA, but you see that they stayed true to their own principles. That number one was to fight communism, and number two was to, promote democracy. And since they stayed true to their own principles, so that is why they enjoyed being a superpower for a long time.
But now US policies are the one that is gonna doom it.
Yeah, I mean, it is all the president's fault, to be honest. They
Yeah, and
have the
also,
most sophisticated military in the world, and still they
of
are here.
course, and also the mistakes that the Biden government is doing is gonna, change the course of US history and influence.
Yes, and I was seeing a kind of stand-up comedy yesterday, and the person he was like Kamala Harris and Joe
Hmm.
Biden when they walk together. Kamala gives him a push every now and then so that he falls down and she becomes the president. I'm like, that might be true. And
But
he was like, you know
even
what,
that is
Biden
not
might
gonna
be.
help US citizens.
This was just comedy.
I know, and I'm just adding to it, just my
Yeah,
dark comedy.
yeah, and he was like, USA is injecting some kind of bull sperm to Joe Biden so that he stays alive at least till 2024. You see, there was, I personally think that Joe Biden did the vote bank politics to win the election of 2020. Otherwise, it was totally uh, Trump's vote to have won USA once again. But yeah, what happened happened, and what we are going to face is totally disastrous. Okay, so
True. Yeah.
I think this was it for the episode.
Yeah, we kept it short and crisp so that you get to know the news and also do your research and tell us if we missed something.
Yeah, and also this was also an episode that gives strength to our fellow Indians that we are on the right path. It might seem uh, very painful in the initial days, but eventually it will do us good.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
bye bye.
let's bye.
Yeah.